YouTube, but I got a 30-day ban on Facebook. And so wanted to just do a brief little catch up here just for a couple of minutes. So I don't know if we're going to get people in here live or not. That'd be nice if we did, but most of you aren't regulars on YouTube, so probably not, but that's fine. So I want to let you know about some changes that are taking place. Finally on Thursday, I'm going to be leaving Colorado. Let's see if we can fix the exposure, can we? No? Are you serious? I can't fix the exposure? Oh, we do have 2 people in here. That's nice. Hey, good to see you. Can't fix the exposure? Oh well. So Thursday I'm leaving the state and got a long drive. So we still don't have Starlink, but we're going to use my backup cell phone on AT&T, and that will provide some level of internet there, but it's very weak. So we're waiting for Starlink. We ordered Starlink an incredibly long time ago. It's the second week of February. It's not that long ago, I guess. But they gave us the impression that you can order it right now, and away you go. I like that they have a timer here. They have a counter. That's really great. We don't stream here normally, so this is a little bit different. When we get Starlink, you know, I mean, it's just going to change everything. You're probably familiar with the speeds that people are getting on Starlink. I mean, it's really, really amazing. And we're in the middle of frickin' nowhere, and that's how I want it. We're in the middle of nowhere. And because I think that we are heading into a shit hit the fan scenario, and I want to be isolated, and so some friends are joining me in this as well. So there'll be some disruption, a little bit, not too much really, in making videos and things like that. We'll be doing a video tomorrow night, so look out for that. That'll be fun. Sunday night. And we'll probably do one next Sunday as well. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what happens, whether the internet connection there is going to be good enough or not. I'm not sure. I won't know until I arrive there Thursday late evening. So, but if we can't do a stream, then I will make a video and I'll upload it to YouTube and you can watch it here. Okay? And let me tell you where I'm at with a lot of the study stuff, the Bible stuff. You know, when people criticize my work, I'm very introspective on the criticism. So I listen to it. And, you know, most of the criticism is coming from kind of young, zealous Christians. It's almost always the case. And people that don't have a deep background. And so if you do have a deep background in theology, in studying the text, and you have issues with the things that I'm talking about, it's you that I'd really like to hear from. You know, different Christian denominations attack each other over their beliefs all the time. So having other Christians attack me over, well, this doesn't line up with what I've been taught, that doesn't really matter too much to me. All right? That's a dime a dozen. You can go and do that to basically every other person who's outside of your denomination with something. All right? What I'm looking for are people that are genuine students of the text, people that know the text. Pastors, genuine theologians, genuine Bible teachers. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear your criticisms on the things that I'm talking about so that we can get into the meat and potatoes of things. Most of the criticism that I receive is kind of from people saying, oh, you don't understand the Trinity, or something that's like, okay, well, that's not the problem. It's a little bit different to that. So if you're a real student of the text, if you're a pastor, if you're someone that's really immersed in ministry in the text, in theology, then I'd like to hear your criticisms. So make sure you send them my way. And we should do it in a spirit of reconciliation, right? We're trying to build each other up. Iron sharpens iron. There's no point in criticizing a person if all you're going to do is aggravate their ego. We all have an ego, right? But if you approach in a way that's like, Israel, why don't you look at this? That's, bring that to me. That's important. Now, I know there's a friend that's going to be watching this, and he's been a pastor a long time, and when I started, and I've known him now for we met in Laguna Beach, California, about 13 or 14 years ago, at an event with Rob Bell. I won't give you his name, but we met there, and when I started talking about some of this stuff a few years ago, he criticized me the same way I'm kind of talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. And so that was now about 3 years ago. And just about 3 weeks ago now, he sent me a friend request, and I was kind of puzzled by that. And I said, hey, what's going on? Didn't expect to get a friend request. He said, well, I've been watching your work the whole time, and, he had digested it enough to the point where he had to agree with the things that I'm now talking about. And that's a really big deal. And so a lot of it is having to listen and learn from a completely different context the things that I'm talking about. It's not, if you want to critique my work, and I welcome that. I mean, we wouldn't be putting it out there otherwise. But it's important before you critique anybody that you understand what they are actually talking about. I can tell from the majority of people that critique my work, they don't know what I'm talking about. And they often come with these very kind of simple arguments where they don't have an understanding of, they don't have a deep understanding of the issues that we're discussing. I'm not the first person to talk about many of the things I'm talking about, particularly with the identification of Yahweh, right? The person that put the very first Bible together, Marcion of Sinope, saw things the exact same way. And there have been others through the last 2,000 years that also have seen things the way that I see them and am talking about. So that's something to consider. Marcion of Sinope is considered a heretic by Roman Universalism. Of course they would. I wish we could fix this exposure. But Marcion of Sinope was the first person to put a canon together, a Bible together. We don't know what that comprised because the Catholic Church did their very best to wipe out all living memory of Marcion. And so we only have scant details, unfortunately. It would be great to know what he had included in his canon. A canon is the books that are included in the Bible, right? The typical Bible, right? Not like the Catholic Bible with the Apocrypha and things in it, but the typical Bible has 66 books written by more than 40 different authors. So, and we call that the canon. Not like shooting a cannon, but this is the canon, the selected texts of the scriptures. And so Marcion of Sinope, he was the first person in Christendom to put together a Bible, and he said Yahweh is the devil, Yahweh is Satan. So it's not just me, right? So we're uncovering, rediscovering some stuff that's been lost to the sands of time, but it's important we do that. So I just want to kind of put that out there. If you're a pastor, if you're a theologian, if you're a real student of the text, whether you're professional or an amateur hobbyist, doesn't matter. Happy to receive your criticisms and critique of the things that I'm talking about. Lately, I've been, you go through periods of time where you go through intense study, and then that intense study creates so much material that you then teach that material for some time. And I went through a period of doing a lot of teaching, and the last little while, I've been going through already 10 minutes. I'm glad the timer's there though. Uh, the last 4 or 5 months, I've gone through a period of in-depth study, and increasingly so. And you know, listening to the entire Bible again, over and over again. I do that in audio on high speed. Can I type here? No, I can't type. Live chat. I just want to type. I can't type. You can go to freebibleaudiobook.com. That's my website, and you can download the Bible in audio for free. That's the one I listen to, so you can have the same resource. And I put it into an iOS app called Overcast, and it lets me speed it up dramatically, and it has this cool function where it takes all the pauses between words, all the tiny little pause, and so you can listen to this. If you've never listened to it ever before, you know, you want to build it up, of course, but I can listen to it at the fastest speed setting that it has. And so I do that. I would just sit down. I have someone blessed me about 6 months ago with this wonderful gift of the Sony XM4s. They want to remain anonymous, so I can't talk about them, but these are Bluetooth, and they're just spectacular, and I'm so thankful for those. But when I'm home, I use these, which I've had for about 12, no, I've had longer than that. I've had these for almost 15 years. And these are wireless cans by Sennheiser. They're not Bluetooth. And they're open air, so you can hear what I'm listening to. Oh, and the battery's dying, so I should turn those off. These are the highest quality headphones. And so I listen to the Bible all the time. And this is really, like, if you want to understand, if you want to connect dots, you have to go through the whole Bible many, 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 many times. It's great when somebody has an interest in something and they want to go deep into a particular text so they can understand it really deeply. But Yeshua in John 5, he talked to the scribes. And thank you. I see the responses here. It's great. You've answered a lot of questions for me. But there's so many more questions, right? I mean, you resolve questions, but then that brings up more questions. Like, wait, but now, yeah, and it's just, and it's a journey, right? It's just this constant moving forward. In John 5, Yeshua talked to the scribes about the way that they would study the text, because they had this thing of going so deep into the text and trying to extract the meaning of a word, and, you know, and understanding not just the meaning of the word, but the value of the word in numbers and numerology, and, well, what are all of the values of all of the words in this sentence, and what do they add up to, and what's it trying to say? And Yeshua said, you search the text because within it you think you can find words of eternal life, but you miss the one they reveal. And this is so important. So many students of the text, this is what they do. People will come and say, well, that's not what it means in the Strongs. Well, usually it is, actually. I don't really stray very far from what's in the Strongs, but you know, they'll come and say, well, this means this, and they'll try to give me all of these meanings of the word and things, and it's like, that's wonderful, but Yeshua already rebuked us for this very practice of trying to go so deep into the text that we get lost in the meaning and the understanding. And the way that you find that is by pulling back from the text and reading everything before it and reading everything after it, and then understanding where else this is talked about all through the text, and making all of these different connections. And the more you pull back from it, the more context you have. And context is everything, because context determines your bias in translation and interpretation. And everyone is interpreting. There's these people that want to say, I just read the Word of God and that's it. No, you don't. That's not true at all. You're interpreting what you're reading, even though it's in English. You're still interpreting it. You can't escape that. No one can. The only person that knows exactly what was meant by the words that are on the page is the author, right? And so it's important that we pull back. And that means that you've got to have a broad view of the text, not just a very narrow and deep view. Excuse me. And that means listening or reading the Bible over and over and over and over and over again, and there's no end to it. There's no end to it. So I was listening to major prophets today. I listened to Isaiah and Jeremiah. I can't see where I'm up to because it's on this phone. And I heard something today that had clicked for the first time. Oh, in Jeremiah chapter 11. I can't even remember what it was now. I remember it was Jeremiah 11. Maybe if I can find I don't have any physical text here handy. Anyway, there was something there. I know I do. Oh, do I not? I don't. And so there was something there that I had not noticed before. And the only way you get to notice these things is by just this constant revision over and over and over and over again. Anyway, so lots more teaching is coming very soon. We'll be doing teaching tomorrow. That's going to be a little bit different tomorrow. So join me for that tomorrow night. But once I get moved and once we get Starlink, we're going to do a lot. And we'll be doing a lot, not just on a Sunday, but all through the week. Now, I need to ask for your covering in prayer. So let me tell you a little story, and then we'll get out of here. It's about 3 weeks ago. I bought some local eggs from a farm, and they had turkey eggs. I'd never had a turkey egg. I buy duck eggs all the time. So, in fact, I eat almost exclusively duck eggs if I have them. They're not always available. So I buy chicken eggs for my doggy, and I buy duck eggs for myself. So they had turkey eggs, and I'm staying with some friends. I'm in a different area, and there's a local farm, and I thought, oh, let's see what they have. They had a sign up saying they had duck eggs. They had turkey eggs. I thought, oh, I've never had them. I'll try those, please. And they're expensive, $7 for a 6-pack, half a dozen. And that night, I had some wine, and I had one of these turkey eggs, and about 3:30 in the morning, I woke up and had to run outside and vomit. Now, I haven't thrown up from food poisoning since I was like 21 years old. I remember it. And so trying to work out what it is. Can't be the wine. I've drunk wine all my life. It's like, the egg, it's like, it's possible, but... So, it was really bad. Knocked me out for a whole day. Like 36 hours, didn't feel good. And then, I thought, it could possibly be the turkey egg, but then it was on last Friday. Gosh, it's been a week. It's been a whole week and I'm still not recovered. So last Friday, I decided to have some turkey eggs. And I had 2. And I had them early in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. And, oh my. Salmonella food poisoning to the extreme. And I am not fully recovered. It's affecting my heart. So that's weird. My heart has this weird feeling at times. Not in pain, but just like, ugh, doesn't feel right. I'm not feeling 100%. I'm right now. I feel a little bit, kind of queasy, and I shouldn't, but that's happened a few times. And so I'm drinking more water. all the tips. Now I'm a hobbyist naturopath, so I know how to heal myself. I heal people all the time. Um, and so I started getting back into the sauerkraut here just an hour ago. I just finished a big helping of sauerkraut. But I don't know. So just pray for me and my health and my heart. It really shook me. I mean, my stomach muscles have kind of finally recovered. My stomach muscles were so sore for so long from the heaving, Boy, oh boy. I haven't, the last time I had food poisoning was 21, and Darren Lacey and I gone to New Zealand for a holiday trip. We were both living in Australia. And we rented a car, rented a hotel room, and we went driving all around the North Island of New Zealand. And I, at some point, bought a chicken salad roll, like a sub, but not we don't really have subs like that down under, but a bun with food in it, right? And that was sitting in the car for many hours, and I took it in with me, but it was delicious, and I wanted to eat it. And so later that night, we'd actually had this unbelievable seafood banquet. I mean, it cost a small fortune. It was really, really amazing. And then, but I was still hungry because, even though you don't get a whole lot of food, even at a high price, it's not that filling. So before I went to sleep, I wanted to eat this roll. So I ate this salad roll. Like hours later, they had to call a doctor to come in and give me an injection to stop me from dry heaving. That was worse, but that's the last time I vomited. I haven't vomited. I'm just not a vomiter. So anyway, so I'm kind of sick right now, and it's not pleasant. So please pray. Prayer works. We can heal people. We're going to be talking about that at the South Dakota conference. In fact, we're going to be laying hands on people and asking the Lord to heal them. So the Lord told us to go out and heal the sick. Not just pray for the sick, heal the sick. Right? So we'll be putting that into practice at our South Dakota conference. And and it's kind of this is a conference for supporters, so it's not open to the public, but I know a lot of you are supporters, so you know about that. But we will be recording that, and we'll be publishing all those videos from the South Dakota conference. And we'll see people get healed. There's no doubt about that. And you'll learn a lot more about me and ministry and things, and it'll be a fun time. It's going to be a fun time. All right. And I really do feel not very good right now, so I'm going to go. So thanks for joining me. I really wanted to catch up with you. I usually do this on Facebook, but you probably didn't catch it right at the start, but I have a 30-day Facebook ban. 30 days for telling the truth about COVID. Unbelievable. What do you do? 30 days. I don't know how long I've got left. Must be like 25 days. Let me interact with my page, and it'll pop up a thing where it says, "You're not allowed to do that." Okay. Try to like something. Your account is restricted for 22 days. So we have quite a bit of time left to go, unfortunately. So that means I'm going to have to stop talking about COVID on Facebook, because I don't want to lose that entirely. It looks like they don't really delete your account on Facebook anymore. I haven't heard of that happening for a very long time. I have a friend that says that he's had 10 30-day bans in the last 12 months. That's pretty extreme. But I need to use that platform to reach people with the gospel. So it's really important that, I'm going to have to pick my priorities here. So I'm not going to talk about COVID on my Facebook page anymore. I can't. I just can't. Maybe I can post links to articles and things, um, but it's important that we retain, that avenue for people to share videos and things like that with their friends. So the gospel is more important than COVID, right? So we'll take that into consideration once they finally unban me. And it looks like there's no appeal process anymore. Babylon B just got stung as well. Babylon B just got stung. That was good, right? They just got some ban on their page, or some warning on their page. So ridiculous. So I'm always looking at other ways to do this, and I still am, of course. And we're going to create an educational nonprofit, and I think there are some people that want to donate decent-sized amounts of money to support what we're doing, but they want that in-kind tax receipt thing so they can write it off on their taxes, and that's good. It's fine with us. So we're going to create not a religious nonprofit, but an educational nonprofit, and then people can, someone has a big tax liability, they can write us a check, and so that's a nice thing. And then we will employ somebody, and there's a lot we want to do. So I'd like to have a full-time web guy who looks after all my website stuff. That won't cost too much. So maybe like $1,000 a month for someone part-time to take care of all that. So that would be nice. Oh, I'm gonna go. I really don't feel well. So thank you for watching, and thank you for your prayers. Please send me your prayers. Have a wonderful night. See you soon. See you tomorrow night. I should feel fine tomorrow night. I hope so, but I should. I hope so. If you pray, I will be. So I'll see you tomorrow night, okay? Are you sure you want to stop? Really? I need a... Yes, I'm sure. Thank you, guys.